beautiful people. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome back. I'm your girl, Eki's famous creative director of Your Queens. And happy Black History Month. We are here. We told y'all we were coming back for season 2 of Behind the Crown Talk series. Here's what I need for y'all to do right now. If you're tuning in, share this out. Share this out. We are live on Facebook on Your Queens Inc. And we are live on YouTube. As I say that, I'm thinking like, wow, we're really doing this. But share this out to your family and friends. Click the share button. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Yes. Season 2, Black History Month. I am Akiwa Asamota, Creative Director of Your Queens. For those of you who are tuning in, what is Your Queens? We've been around for 6 years. Last month, we celebrated our 6th anniversary. And what we do is we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. You're like, Eki, what are you talking about? Yes, we dress up like real African kings and queens, like Makeda, Queen of Sheba, King Tut, Queen Amina, Nanaya Asantua. And you can actually book us. Yes. Book us for birthday parties, daycare centers, school presentations, speaking events. We do photo shoot. Guess what? We are here for you. I always say nothing wrong with Disney princesses because Disney actually started around during the Great Depression. And look how big Disney is now. And Your Queens, we're starting during this time. We don't really have to talk so much about what's going on in the world, but you could feel it. You could sense it. But right now, I do feel a positive shift in the universe because we've been putting out other organizations like us putting out all this positivity. And we thank y'all for all your donations because we are a nonprofit organization. We're able to provide for companies who aren't able to maybe afford a big budget. So we're providing for our family, our friends. Book us for your birthday parties, 1-year-old birthday parties, 50-year-old birthday parties. We are here for you to leave a magical experience. Real quick, we did a birthday party the other day. And just to see about 30 kids come up and say that I am royal, life-changing. So that is our goal, to leave you with a magical, life-changing experience. But guess what? I have 2 special guests for you. Yes, 2 special guests. One is and here's the thing, I've known these women, one of them for about 20 years. The other one, I want to say 10 plus. Maybe 10 plus years. So they're really like part of my circle. These girls are my heart. These queens are my heart. I love them. I speak to them weekly, sometimes daily. I'm so thankful to launch season 2 with one of my beautiful, dynamic, loving, and powerful queen. Give it up for Shannon Nia Alomar. Yeah.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to season 2. We did it, Joe. We're here. We're doing it. I am so excited to be back with you all. It has been so great when we did our first season, and now we are in 2021. Like Miss Eki said, and I keep telling y'all, one day I'm going to say without the miss, but right now is not the day. Like she said, we are in 2021. There is so much joy, positivity, love, and peace, and all of those things that we have been able to push out, and we want to continue it in the new year. So without going long-winded like I do, if you've been here for season 1, you already know. But my name is Shannon Nia Alomar.
We love to hear it, though. We love to hear it.
Listen, give me a mic and I'm gonna just go. But my name is Shannon Nia Alomar, and I am a member of Your Queens. I embody Queen Nefertiti, and I also serve as our web mistress, and I am an advisor on our board of directors. Also, I am professionally a teacher. I teach kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade science in a charter school in the Bronx, which is my hometown, my borough. I love the Bronx to the death of me. And I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to jump into our topic today and to be on this panel with these 2 beautiful, lovely, amazing, inspiring, gorgeous queens this evening. And yeah, that's all I got. I'm real energetic today. I'm ready. Like
I'm here for it. My energy's been on 10. I did a recording earlier. They were like, Eki, you're talking really loud. I'm like, I'm just excited. So I hope y'all feeling this energy. It really feels good. Sending it all to you guys. Hope y'all are smiling. We're just gonna have some fun tonight. Guess what, y'all? Next up, I want to introduce, this is my dear sister. We were talking earlier, and we've known each other literally 20 years. 20. We were like talking about a fashion show that we did many, many years ago where I realized how much I love color. You see this bright color in my hair. I had locks and I had my hair. We did a fashion show together. My hair was burnt orange back when I was 20, 21 years old. Straight up. And I was like, oh my gosh, she brought that memory. So I would love to introduce to you my sorority sister. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Her name is Kalia Moss. She is an educator, a mother, a beautiful queen, an actress, a model. Yes, you heard all of that. And the founder of Glow Girl Wellness. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you to Queen Kalia Moss.
I am so happy to be here, Eki. Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Kalia Moss. I am the creator of Glow Girl Wellness. I am a mom. I am an educator. I teach culinary education. I'm in the health field as well. I wear many hats, but I wear many crowns. And what I do, I'm just honored to be here for Black History Month and just to talk queendom, behind the crown. I love this platform, and I'm just so blessed and honored and grateful that you have asked me to be here. So I'm excited.
No, we're so happy, so happy to have you, and happy birthday to your grandma as well. Your queen. Yes, her name is really Queen. So I saw some pictures the other day. And wow, she looks gorgeous. I pray and wish that I'm able to live those many, many years. And we wish her many, many more years. And shout out to anybody who has birthdays right now. I felt like just sharing out. Shout out to Aquarius. Is this Aquarius season?
It's Aquarius season.
Yeah. Shout out to Aquarius season. And let's get it going, queens. Y'all are ready for this conversation. Hi, sis. Oh, my sister. Yes. Carrie is on here. Yes, it was moving. Just 2 words. Right out of I Am Royal. That moment, Carrie, out of the baby's mouth meant. So this young lady, we celebrated her daughter's 7th birthday last week, and I'm still on high. I haven't even shared it on social media yet because I'm still, every time I look at the video, I'm like, it's so magical. Like, this is really happening. We're really dressing up and inspiring the youth and adults. Thank you, Carrie. I love you, my sister, for having us. My line sister, Dornice. Hi, babe. You've been on my mind. I love you. You feel the energy? I know my energy is on 10. I've been like, it's Wednesday, like, next, go. Thank you for being here. And look, I'm here with 2 powerful, positive energy as well. So I know y'all feeling it like bang. It's so good. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, if you are joining us, we are Your Queens, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. We are here. We did a season 1. We tried out 10 episodes and was like, let me see how this go. Logic shout out to the creator of iRant Network, who we have streaming us live right now. My brother, who I've also known for about 20 years. Like, y'all are really, I love my circle, my village. It's so like, after this, I'm probably going to cry and just like get on my knees and give God the glory, because this stuff here is magical. You can't make this up. So shout out to him for having us on here. We started off with 1 episode, and I think one of my queens, my assistant Mickey, she's on here. She's on here in the comments, sending you much, much love and light. She'll be on here soon. And after we did episode 4, she was like, Miss Eki, it wasn't even like, are we going to? She was like, we need to continue. And I was like, okay. We did 10 successful episodes, and we were able to also stream live. If any of you guys got to see our Kwanzaa celebration, it's still up on our YouTube page. You can sit back and just enjoy the whole show. It was beautiful. Shout out to Linden Studio for having us, is where we had it at. And we took a little break because, yeah, you know how it goes with season, and we're back on Black History Month for season 2. Glad to be here. Hi, Queen. Tolu, I can't wait to meet you in person, because I know we communicate a lot on social media. That is Rashina's Taylor. And when I see you in person, just know I'm going to hug you, okay? I hope you feel the same way. I'm just going to hug you when I see you in person. So thank you for being here. Looking forward to connecting with you. Season 2. Today we are talking Black History Month. I feel like it's just such a special time, right? And of course, Black History Month is 20, let me put that fist up, 4/7 all day, every day. Y'all see the sweaters? Let's get into it. YourQueens.com. Look at the Black History. I am Black History. There's so many Black designers out there that's been and continue to be out there. Support your Black designers. Support your Black, who else? Like toiletry companies, your Black favorites companies, your shoe brands. We are out there. And if you need information, I have a plethora. And even my queens, Kalia Moss and Shannon, we know a lot of people. We're well connected. What you need, we will get it for you. Let's circulate that money and put it back in our community as we continue to build wealth. Hello, ladies. 3 powerful queens. Shout out to my mentor. Yes. TL Cross, that's my brother. I love and appreciate you. Shout out to Cross Academy. We appreciate you. You definitely give me a hug. Thank you. That's just how I feel. So I want to can we get into the first question? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the first question? Let's get it in. So first question, and listen, y'all, feel free to, like you've been commenting in the comments as well. Definitely talk with it because I believe in positive vibration and all this going on. So definitely comment, vibe with us, share with us, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start with my first question, and this goes out to both queens. Shannon, if you would like to start, definitely. So again, the topic is celebrating Black history and leaving a legacy for our audience, right? Again, if you're just joining in, YourQueens.com, share this out with your family and friends. Season 2, Behind the Crown talk series. So first question is, what does Black History Month mean to you?
All right. So we are here, and just like was mentioned, Black history is honestly 365, 24/7, all day, every day. But I've seen these memes going around, and they said, Black History Month, I'm just extra blackety black. Like, I'm just coming in harder, stronger with it. But for me, Black history is just every day for all of us when we're walking around, living, breathing, breaking barriers. In school, we've been, I teach science, as I mentioned, so we've been kind of highlighting Black scientists and Black people in the STEM field for our scholars. And I want to highlight the people from before, our ancestors from before, but I also really feel like it's important for us to show them people now. Sometimes when we constantly show people from the past, which is important, it's very, very important. But I also think it's important for us to show them what's happening now. Black history is still happening today, even though it's today and it's present. This is still going to become Black history. Us being on this show right now, this is going to be a part of Black history as soon as we get off air, So I think it's important when we're celebrating Black history to celebrate where we've come from and where we are and where we're going and what we want to accomplish, because that is all going to become a part of the story as well. So for me, it's ever living. It's ever changing. It's something happening all the time. And it just inspires me each and every day when I get up. I'm just like, wow, like anytime I do something, no matter how big or how small, I'm doing it as a Black woman. And that later on in life might become something historical for someone. Something that I think is so small later down the road may be, wow, well, Eki's Famous was able to do it, so now I can do it. Kalia Moss was able to do it, so now I can do it. So that's what Black history is for me. It's just, it's every moment of every day.
Wow. Yes. Your babe says that's so good. Teach the kiddos. We appreciate you, King Tyler. We're gonna have you up here soon. You already my heart, my baby, my big brother. I'm not calling you baby brother. I love you.
What up?
Listen, my brother got skills. Check him out, Osamete G. Asamoto. He is an artist. The other day, we drove in the car to go do a photo shoot. Check out his page. Also, check out Eki's Famous on Instagram. We did a photo shoot with my sister and my brother. It was amazing. I'm so thankful that he put that together, and thankful. Shout out to Click Photography, and we needed that, and it's just so amazing. But we sat in the car and listened to his album, his EP coming out soon. Not because he's my brother, y'all. Real talk. He got skills. Like, I'm gonna let you guys hear a song on our next meeting. Like, I was blown away. His versatility and all that. Okay, let me focus. Shout out, brother. I love you. I love you. I could go on and on. But I love something that you said, Shannon, is Black history. Yes, Black history is happening now, right? It's happening. And something like when I was teaching, we're all educators, by the way. Kalia teaches health and wellness, teaches children about eating healthy. And like we said, Shannon is also an educator as well. She teaches the babies. And so it's so natural for us to live Black history and to be women and queens and be able to have the honor and pleasure to be alive during this moment in time and to teach our history, where we tell. I find myself telling my students, like when I ask them questions, and we're teaching about the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, then we're also teaching about the queens. We're doing a whole queen segment next month. The school was like, oh, yay, we heard what you do. Let's go. I'm like, all right. I can't say no because I'm like, this is what we do. But when we talk about history, we have to let them know that it's constantly it's happening. Like, you are history. So I think about Black History Month. I am Black history, like how Kalia has on her shirt. And it's just so powerful. I had a friend earlier who's going to be on the show later on, Tanisha Carter, and she said something about, we always hear about ancient, think about even America. We hear about ancient Egypt or ancient Africa or Asia. You never know, no shots to America because we're here, right? But we know what it was built upon, right? You never heard of ancient America because it didn't exist. Okay, so we are here because we created, and not to be shy or not want to speak up about that, and know that we created this country and be proud and stand tall, shoulders down, heads up. That's why we have your queens, to break that. So yes, our ancestors were enslaved, but before that, we are kings and queens. I will never get tired of sharing that story. Yeah. So I want to, right? Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say it's so important. And it's so important for us to be, I don't know why the word unashamed is coming. I don't think that's the right word that I'm trying to use, but it's so important for us to be bold when we have those conversations, especially with the youth, because we want them to carry on that same energy. You know, we don't want them to kind of like break it down. Even today, I was speaking to my co-teacher, and I've shared on one of our episodes before that my co-teacher is a Black man. And I feel like the dynamic in our classroom is so powerful because it's a Black woman and a Black man. And we're teaching these children who look just like us. And we are very bold with what we say, you know. But today I was kind of talking to him because we're reading a book about George Washington Carver. And, you know, they mentioned slavery in the book. And I was telling him that, you know, I said, I wanted to make sure I was explaining slavery right. And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I wanted to make sure that I'm telling them the truth of what it is, but I'm saying it in a way that they can understand and digest it. Because I wanted to just go ham and like be like laying down all these things, but I still have to remember, you know, like, okay, they still are a child. I don't want to overwhelm them with the information, but I want them to get it right. Because the book, even that we were reading, the way that it explained the Civil War, it was just like, oh, the North and the South had a fight. And then after that, everyone was free and happy. And I was like, no, that's no. So I had to find that balance. But he simply, and my co-teacher, he is just very straightforward to the point, no fluff, no sugarcoating. He was like, just tell them. Like, just say it.
Just say it.
Don't think about all that. He was like, you taking it up here and it got to be right here. Just tell them whatever comes to your mind, because that version of what you want to tell them is probably what they're not getting somewhere else. So just tell them. And I was like, wow. And it was so simple. It was so plain, but it's like, you know, we really have to come with that boldness because we don't want it to get washed away. We don't want our history to get washed away. And we want our kids to have that same fire and desire to keep it alive, you know? So being Black history is like, yes, we're living in the moment. You are Black history, but also be bold about showing people why it's so important for us to celebrate that and why you are so important, because there was a time where you couldn't do X, Y, and Z, or you didn't have that footing, and now you have it. So we want them to be really unfiltered when they share those truths as well, while they're sharing their own Black history stories.
I felt that, Shannon. I felt that. Ramona, one of our queen mothers here. We also have a rites of passage program. I know we come in with you with a lot of greatness. Yeah. Guess what? We have a rites of passage program. We already have 9 girls. We launched it last week of their ages 9 to 13, and we're going through a 1-year program, intense program, where they're going to have a ceremony at the end, and we're grooming them to be young queens. And Ramona Samuel is one of our mothers. She has twins, Ashley, who's one of our princesses in the Rites of Passage program, and her son, Ashton, who is starting very soon with his mentorship program with my brother T.L. Cross, who's in the comment. Y'all see the family? Y'all see the village we're building here? And she says, right, some kids say they hate watching or hearing about slavery because, and that's real.
Yeah.
So we got to share the stories before that, after that, and know that we are, like Shannon said, being bold right now because of that, and not to be afraid. The way it's taught is important. Yeah, so that important. Part. Hey, Michelle. Peace and love, Queen. Thank you for being here. Right. Yep. Our history has been watered down so that others are not uncomfortable. Tell them
That's it.
I want to have our Queen Kalia Moss jump in on this question. Because we just went in. What does Black History Month mean to you, my love? What does it mean to you? I think she got frozen a little bit, but we already know she's going to come back in. You can unmute yourself. So we're talking Black History Month. What does Black History Month mean to you? And even Black history in general. And we're able to just tap around. There you go. You right there, boo.
You see me? Okay.
We see and hear you well.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
It's all good.
Okay. I didn't know. Okay, is it my turn?
It's all good.
Yes, it's your turn, my love. Hey, Mickey, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Okay, Shannon, yo, like everything you said just was like, was just hitting me. Like, as my shirt says, I am Black history, right? I am Black history. And every day, 365 days, we are Black history. As a mother's perspective, when I think about my education, I went to private school and no one looked like me. I don't remember learning anything about Black history outside of what I learned at home. So for me, like when you created your queens, and around the time of me being a mom, it was like, I need y'all to be in my school. These kids need to see this. They have to know who they are and not just about slavery. Can you hear me? Y'all hear me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I can't hear you. Okay. Y'all are muted. So like, it was so important that I invited your queens to come in and teach our kids, because it is so important to know that there's so much more to our history outside of slavery, right? Because that's mainly what we learn in school. We learn about being slaves. We don't learn about the kings and the queens. Even when you think about Cleopatra, who do we see as her representation? It's not of a Black woman. And so I was so excited and proud of you, Eki, when you created your queens. And I had to have you at my son's school. And I will never forget when you guys came and the kids, I'm talking about this is elementary school, and they were bowing. And they came days afterwards wearing their crowns after you crowned them. It was beautiful. So Black history means power. It means authenticity. It's just so powerful. Even though we get the shortest month out the year to celebrate it, which is, like that, why we only get 28 days. But, as a mom, and teaching in schools and seeing and just being very active in my son's school, I I also too sometimes have to fight as a parent leader. You know, what are we going to do to celebrate Black history? How are you going to represent us? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for y'all to represent us. I'm going to do something. And that's why it was very imperative to bring your queens in. And when you guys came last year, oh my goodness, the kids were so excited because they were kids that had never seen you guys. And they would run up to me and they'd be like, Miss Moss, thank you so much. The queens, they were like, the queens, where the queens? Are they gonna come back? So Black History Month just is just everything to me. And as a mom for my baby, I'll never forget just a few not Black History Month, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, right? We watched Selma together. I had never watched it. And me and my son, we sat and watched it. And we were both in tears. And I said to him, I was like, I need you to understand the importance of this. I need you to understand the importance of our history. You know, and he's like, wow, Mom, I know about Martin Luther King, but I didn't know about him, and I didn't know about him. So I can ramble and ramble on. But for me as a mom,
we're here for it. It's going in and out, but we can hear you. I think it just froze a little bit, but I love that you're sharing about just being powerful and authentic. And I always tell like people, it's not only words, we're really, really living this experience. And Miss Moss, thank you for having us. We've been at your school about 3-4 times, and it's just been a magical experience. And that was like an out of body experience to see them bowing, because it just showed, and walking around with their head wrap. It showed that they got it, that they understood what we were doing. So it's really, I'm so thankful. And it's bigger. Doing something like your queens, it's bigger than us. We would get texts from parents who like, my daughter's sleeping with her head wrap on. And that is the purpose. That is the reason why we do your queen. This view is a little different. Like face. In your face.
Only your face. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Like it, you know, even before we jumped on tonight, I thought about, I have these random moments sometimes where I'm just reflective on what we do, like what we actually do, because it doesn't even feel like we're doing something. Like, I know that we're doing something spectacular and extraordinary and magical, but when you're in something, sometimes you can't see it for how other people receive it. And I really was thinking about how the kids were telling themselves like, I'm royalty, and you know, all this stuff at the birthday party virtually. I was just like, wow, like for them to feel this power virtually when normally we do events in person. And even when we went to Kalia's school the first time, I remember that so vividly. Like, we're in the office, the door is closed, they know that we're in there. And they're like knocking on the door and bowing. Can we
remember that?
And I'm like, yeah, touch me, just don't take my head bust off, but go ahead. Like, you know, like it's just that making it real, like making it real, something that they never noticed, something that they may not know or connect with, and then bringing it to them and making it something that they can grasp, something that's relatable to them, and something that's not a fantasy. And I think that's what's so powerful about what we do, because we can always say, this is not just a story we made up. You know, this is something
that part.
Yeah.
Wow, you talked about the door. Yeah, we had it closed. Oh man,
I have that video. Like, I remember I was on Instagram, you know, back before Instagram was a little fancy now. I was showing them, and one of the kids, I caught him bowing to us, and like he did it again, and I literally started crying. I was like, what's happening right now? But like you said, it shows us that they get it, they understand it. And even when we walk into the room in that first moment, like, I don't even feel like Shannon anymore. I just feel like something else happens, and I'm just like,
no, I can see it.
Oh, this is crazy.
You already know. Shannon could tell who's the biggest fan of your queen. I'll be there backstage and in the side, like, wow, these queens. Meanwhile, creative director, but that's how you know it's bigger. It's bigger than me.
I
And just
always
having
look for you. I always look for you in the crowd because nowadays she tries to like not perform.
don't blow me up.
Try to sit down and but the plus side to that is that I get to look out and see her in the crowd and like see her like, and I'm like, wow, I'm doing so good right now.
I'm
So
really
that's-
cracking up my stomach.
what we
Oh my
do.
God. No, Kalia, we love coming to Zaire's school.
Oh, love it,
We
love
are
it,
proud
love
of you, mommy, for what you're doing. Zaire is an awesome young king. Many, many blessings. I don't know if you wanted to share some more. I know we got frozen. Go right ahead. You can unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say, your Queens is Black history. That is Black history, And I just wanted to thank you so much for, that vision that you had that day. I know you didn't go there for that. I know you went.
You know the vibes. You know the story. Real talk.
I know the story, but because of that, you are Black history. This moment is Black history. And so I just thank you. I thank you for your vision and staying consistent. And just all of the queens that you have, for Shannon, just all of the queens that you have incorporated into your queens. I thank all of you. All of you are Black history. You guys, you are doing so much for our children, and it is absolutely amazing, and it is beautiful. And I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude for the work that you guys are doing for our children. Like I said, I went to private school, so I didn't have these experiences. And because my son goes to a predominantly Black public school, there was a disconnect for me. And so for me, I was like, I didn't have these types of things because they weren't celebrating us. But my son's school is Black. And they still weren't celebrating us. So it's like, oh, how can I make a difference? Even if it's just for the month of February, even if all I can bring is this, then I'm going to do it. And I know when he graduates this year and he leaves, they will always remember that Miss K, Miss Moss, however they called me, brought the queen.
Beyonce.
They will. I know I didn't want to say that because I'm like, but because of the acting and the modeling and all that stuff, they call me Miss Beyonce. But
I've heard them say it too. Very proud. Like it's really her name. Like really.
Yeah, they do call me that. But the fact that I was able to bring the queens to PS 197, the Ocean School, I'm that if that's my legacy there, then I am grateful for that. I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do. Because they learned so much. Like I said, they came days wearing their crowns. They came, it was a beautiful experience. And for you guys to come back more than once, we've invited you guys more than once to come. And
3 times. 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And we actually, Kalia and I did a production together, a Black version of the Three Little Pigs. We had hip hop. It was going down, okay? But you already tapped in. First of all, I want to shout out to Mariama. I saw you in the comments. Hi, Tashawn. Thank you for being here. We appreciate and love you. Mariama was in the comments about Black History Month. I saw you. Michelle, thank you. Mickey was in the comments. Black history, validity, and it means validity and existence. Pretty much, we're here. We're doing Black history right now, right? Mariama, shout out to Mariama. I've known her like 30 years. That's my queen. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm hugging you too when I see you in person. Everybody getting hugs. Hug for everybody. Mickey says Black history is American history. We stand on the shoulders of giants and must continue to emulate greatness by our own means. Okay, Mickey. Yes, I've just changed my Black history focus for my class. Yes, queen. Thank you so much for the idea. Oh, you're welcome. This is why we are here, Michelle. Well, this is why we are here. First time viewer. Oh, we appreciate you. We are your queens, and we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. This is our season 2. Tashawn, of Behind the Crown series, where you get to meet the queens and kings and some of our special tribe and guests. And most of the time, what we do is we dress like real queens. Check out yourqueens.com on our Instagram, Your Queens Inc. Mind blowing, magical. You get to see us dress up as Nefertiti. Shannon plays Queen Nefertiti. Sometimes I play Makita, Queen of Sheba, and Nanaya Asantua. We have Queen. She's laughing because I'm like, I'll fall back now. I just want to watch the show.
Sometimes.
You're like,
All right.
But check us out, yourqueens.com. But you touched on something, Kalia, and that I'm gonna lead right into the next question, because you touched on it. He's like, if that's my legacy, and then that's what it. And I felt that, because I felt like we're doing the work, you know, organically, naturally, authentically, open. And also shout out to Osa, my big sis. That's my soul right there. And my manager as well, a mother, a wife. She's just magical. Okay, I love you, sis. She's in the comments as well. Thank you for being here. Our second question is, and I'm gonna see if have Kalia jump on it. What does legacy mean to you?
Wow. You know, my grandmother turned 87 yesterday, and me and Eki were talking about, her name is Queen. That is the name she was born and given, Queen. And we did a Zoom birthday party for her, and they were just talking about all the great things that she did. And I think about, what do you do between the day you're born until the day you leave? Like, what that dash, right? What does that dash say about you? You know, and so legacy is, what do you do in that dash? What are you doing for someone else? How are you serving other people? You know, we can leave a legacy. You know, we can have our life insurance policies, and we can leave money, you know, to other people. We can leave property, we can leave homes, but what have you done to touch another life? What have you done to pour into another soul, into another being? You know, so for me, legacy, you know, is, how am I serving while I'm here? What is my dash going to be? You know, what are they going to say about me when I'm gone? Kalia, you know, oh, she was a millionaire, or she was this. No, Kalia served the people. Kalia loved on the people. Kalia poured into the people. That's what I want my legacy to be. You know, I want Zaire to be like, my mom was more than just, you know, I stopped modeling for a reason. It's like, there was no fulfillment anymore. Like, there was nothing, you know, it seemed like there was so much ego into being, you know, to modeling, putting the makeup on and having a pretty face and walking down the runway. It was so much, I wasn't fulfilled. You know, so getting in the classroom, teaching the kids how to eat healthy, how to live healthy. Now that I'm learning meditation, how to quiet your mind, how to be still, how to, you know, like, that's the legacy that I want to leave. I want to leave behind something that someone will be able to go in and be like, wow, she did that. You know, I want my legacy to be of service, how I served my people. You know, that's what I want my dash to say. That's what legacy is for me.
That was well said.
Thank
I
you,
felt that. Wow, that was well said. The dash. Thank you. That's all I got. Thank you for sharing. I felt that. Queen Shannon. Okay, before we jump into I have Shannon answer the question about legacy. What does legacy mean to you? Definitely answer in the comments as well. What legacy means to you. We believe in putting it out there, because we're leaving a legacy like our ancestors did. We are here because of our kings and queens. Like, how amazing and how powerful is that? One of our queens is backstage, our queen Angie, a new mom. We're so excited to have her. Hanjane, I like to say her name like that. Merrick, she's on here. Hey, yes, I'm liking the black and white vibes though. I'm really liking it. And she's also a member of Your Queens.
I really had to stop myself from screaming. Like,
I pull back. Yeah.
I have to know that we're in front of polite community. I have to calm down.
Hi, everybody. So Sorry, I was having
It's
technical
okay.
difficulties.
Listen, we're vibing. It's dope, right? They like the black and white. That's a whole TV
Oh, they
show
do.
going on
Thank
here.
you.
Servant leader.
Oh,
Oh, that's
thank
your
you. I'm
legacy,
trying.
Tashawn. Servant leader. I love that. So take it away. I want to read some of the comments real quick. Tanisha said, Tashana, forgive me if I'm saying your name incorrectly, servant leader. You got to know what you're leaving a legacy for. Legacy to me means putting forth happiness, knowledge, and wisdom to those I impact so that they can grow and glow. Hello, when I'm no longer here. That's so powerful, Migas. Who's Migasy? I mix up Mickey and Legacy is growth. I'm excited, y'all. Migasy. But we have the beautiful Angie coming on. If you feel like want to jump on this question, I know you just jumped right on, but I know you got this and it's powerful. I can't wait to hear. What does legacy mean to you?
Oh my God, that's a big one. Let's jump right into it. So, what does legacy mean to me? So, I think the first way to describe legacy for me would be traditions. One thing that I've held so dearly to my heart is my family's traditions, whether it be cooking, whether it be anecdotes, whether it be spoken words, or whether it be just plain old just things that my grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents did that just got our family through really tough times. So I just feel like those traditions are what make legacy. And I think the second thing that I would say in terms of what legacy means to me is about being a generational leader. I think that, we are all leaders in our own right forth, but how we become leaders and how we show our role modelness. I know it's not a word, but I'm going to make it a word today. Role modelness is by being leaders into believing what we have and having the benediction to go after what we want. For instance, I know like everybody's on a high that we have a Black vice president who's a woman. And that day was very, very emotional for me because it made me really feel that we actually have accomplished a lot of things since 1963 when the civil rights movement started, and everything that we were fighting for, what Martin Luther King was fighting for, has come to fruition. Because not only did they say that we would not be able to run a country, they did not say that a woman would not be able to run a country. And we are standing here today in 2021 where we've had a Black president who served us for 8 years, and now we have a female vice president who is Black, who will be serving for 4 years and on. So the fact that we've made these strides is a legacy in ourselves as African Americans, for us to understand that we are worthy, we actually have the power, and we will overcome any and every prosecution that comes our way.
Whew. Well, y'all see why we do this and why I surround myself with greatness. He just dropped all that. Like, she's like, oh, that's another question, but here you go. Pop, poop, pop, pop, pop. And it's so amazing because I remember watching the inauguration with my students. We let them watch it because it was happening live. Like, we weren't going to teach class while it was happening. We're going to sit here and watch this live with you guys. And they were so engaged for 30 minutes. And then they were like, all right, I'm hungry. But we kept them watching it because even though they might have felt bored after, because the attention span, y'all know how kids are, after 30 minutes of watching it, and they got tired after, it left something for them, right? It was life-changing for them. And I remember when I was a young kid and my parents took us to see Mandela when he got released during apartheid. I remember not really sure what's going on, but it left a legacy, and this is why we're here right now. Like, so it's so good to leave that. But something you said, Angie, that I loved was about leaving a legacy, and why I love to hear Shannon, Kalia, and all my queens, Angie, your perspective on what legacy means to you. You said traditions, even cooking. Like, let me tell you about my mama chicken. People know about my mama chicken is the best. Like, I need to make my mama chicken that way. It's the tradition, the cooking, the spoken word. That is what a legacy is. You're such a phenomenal woman, Angie. So thank you for sharing. And it's good to see you.
It's good
I'm
to
gonna.
see you. You look beautiful. You look. I'm looking over here. And I'm like, you just glowing. Like I'm looking at it. And I'm just like, oh, who are these
Oh.
new queens? I mean, I've been out the loop for only 3 months, but these are brand new people, baby. I'm like, what's going on? I said, I got to get up to y'all standards. I think, maybe I need to go get it right, get it tight somehow because y'all over
Angie,
here,
we
Shannon
live,
over
we
there
live, we
glowing. Shannon's going over there. You over here serving and giving me all types of vibes right now. I'm just like, and then here comes Kalia with that good old bright old smile, and I'm just like, yeah.
I love you. I appreciate you. We are reflecting. You are glowing as well. Oh my God, I got a tear. No, but Kalia earlier was like, so how is this gonna go? I'm like, we're gonna talk. You'll see. We're just gonna be ourselves. Oh, we lost Angie. I know she'll come right back. But thank you for sharing. Shannon, Queen Shannon, what does legacy mean to you?
Oh Lord. Also, side note about me saying "ooh Lord" all the time. One of my students now says it all the time too. Anytime I call her, she's like, "Oh Lord, ooh Lord." I'm like, "Oh Lord." But legacy. Wow. Like, I feel like, as always, it's kind of the things that I kind of had in my mind were said. But I don't. The word that's coming to me about it is just that connection. Your legacy is something that people will be able to reach back to. And it touches on the point that Kalia made and also Angie made, something that people will be able to reach back to and connect with you even after you're gone. The things that were important to you, through those traditions, through your family traditions, those are things that were important to your family, important enough to pass down from person to person. Being a servant, being a servant is something that's important to you. It's on your heart, and people will be able to look back and see this woman was a woman of service. And that connects people to you even after you're gone. Even when we learn about our ancestors or people who have gone on to be with the Lord, we hear those stories. Even Kalia talking about her grandmother who is still with us, which is a blessing. But hearing all those people talk about her and the things that she's done and how she's impacted them, those are all connections that we're able to make. And in my family right now, my grandma is actually our matriarch because my great-grandmama passed away a few years ago and her oldest sister passed away a few years ago. So now my grandma is the matriarch of the family, which is wild to me because I'm like, it's like she's been my matriarch, but now she's like the family's matriarch, right? And it's when you think about it, sometimes you're just like, okay, yeah, naturally, like you're moving up in the line. But when I really sit back and think about that, I'm like, wow, like all these babies that are being born in my family now, and all the younger people are now looking to my grandmother as like this figure of our family. She is the connection to other members of our family that some of them have not been able to meet, or the memories that our family has about certain people or certain things that we've done. So it's such an honor, I feel like, to be a matriarch. It's such an honor to be that leader for your family or in your household. So for me, really, legacy is that connection. It's the things that you leave behind that are going to allow future members of your family, your lineage, or people who come in contact with them to know you, even without you being there. And like Kalia said, and I love that, like when she talked about how she would want her son to talk about her, that's it right there. That's the legacy. And you have to not only tell people that this is who you are, but show people, because a lot of times it's not always what you're saying, it's what you've done. Those actions are, like people say, it's not about what you said to someone, it's how you made them feel. And that's how they'll be able to connect to them. So yeah, connection is definitely a huge part of legacy.
Thank you so much. That's the glue, connection. Yeah. And as you say that, I just see like this year after year, this train just going on like a piece. But it's so crazy. Like my mind is just racing. You even think about a puzzle when you put it together, or train tracks. It's just everything is connected. The galaxy, all that stuff. It's all connected. Wow.
It's just funny you were saying that, Shannon, because my grandmother is a matriarch of my family. And last night, we had the only moment with my son and his dad and myself and my grandmother, where last night they literally sat there and my son was talking, not in baby talk, because he's 3 months, was talking to his grandmother, and they had a full-blown conversation, and she was answering him back, and she was thinking, and he was so excited to talk to her. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe, and she was just like, and then she was like, yeah, and what else you gonna do? And he, and I'm talking about, I have a whole 2-minute video of them going back and forth, and then when she got excited, he got excited, and then when he got excited, she got excited, and it kept going. I was just like, I guess like this is the connection that you're talking about in terms of the fact that like he feels it, he knows that she's like the person of the persons of our family, and the fact that he feels that connection with her at this early age is just so breathtaking for me.
Yeah, it's that connection. And, you know, honestly, those moments, even those small moments that you have as a baby, you know, those moments that we think we forget, that moment is going to live in him. No matter what he's going through, no matter what's going on, he's going to live in that moment. Like that excitement that he feels about her now is that excitement he's going to carry for the rest of his life, you know? And like you said, even as a baby, he recognizes like, oh, you the one of the family. Like I gotta talk to you first because I gotta get
you hold the throne. You hold the throne, and from there.
So forget all of y'all, mommy. I'm gonna see you in about 2 minutes. But right now, it's all about the matriarch.
And that's exactly what he did last night. He was like, "Mommy, hold on." And then he was like, then he started smiling. He was like, okay, I'm back to you now. Okay. You're fine now. But, you know, I had to have my moment before I went to bed to be with her.
I had to say something. I had to piggyback on that, Angie. My grandmother's 87th birthday was yesterday, and she's now our matriarch as well. Her sister, her only sibling, passed of COVID on Good Friday. So my grandmother is now our matriarch. And my son is 10, Zaire. And yesterday I was getting him ready for bed. I was like, you got to go to bed. He was like, all right, mommy. He was like, you know what? I don't know what I would do without grandma. He calls my grandma. It's his great grandmother, but he's like, grandma. He's like, I don't know what I would do without her. He was like, she's my spine. She's my backbone. I said, what? I was like, I was almost hit the floor. I was like, what did you just say? And I went to my grandmother. I said, Grandma, you will not believe what Zaire just said. He said, you are his spine. You are his backbone. And, you know, I remember growing up as a child, and it was the same scenario that I have here. I'm a single mom. I moved back here to live with my family, to get back on my feet. And when I was growing up, it was my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and me. And now it's the same way. It's my grandmother, my son, my mother, and me, and my dad, my stepdad. And so to see the 4 generations of us, you know, that's legacy. But he hit me to my core when he said, she's my backbone, she's my spine, because that's exactly what she is and has been for me. You know, so that again is an example of legacy. And as you were talking about your baby, you know, talking his little baby talk and having his little conversation with grandma, it reminded me of what my son said. And it brought me to tears because it came out of nowhere. Like he was just getting ready for bed. And it was like, she's my spine. I was like, oh my God. Well, then what am I? No, I'm just...
But you know where he got that from.
I feel you.
You know where he got that from. He got that from you, from what you teach him. A lot of times we may think like they're just kids or they're just babies, but they're little humans. They got the same brain and 5 fingers, 10 toes, heart and soul, and they're learning from you queens, you mom. So you see that it's just from what you instilled in him and more, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Huh. I'm loving this conversation. We're already almost an hour in. I know, Shan Queen, if you can stay, you're more than welcome. I know if you need to go, absolutely. We thank you. We do have another queen backstage getting ready to join. Oh, she's right here. This is Aisha. She plays Makita, Queen of Sheba. I'm going to let her talk. She's a beautiful model and educator, a creative and artist. And we are so happy to have you. So you can jump on and just say hello to the beautiful people. Oh, okay. Yes. I love it. We have Queen Rashina on here, one of our vice president and advisors on our board. So good to have you, Queen Rashina. So I'm gonna just have Aisha and Queen Rashina just introduce themselves real quick, and then I'll come back and talk about the next question. Thank you so much, Shannon. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Hi, all. My name is Aisha. I'm from Brooklyn, New York originally. I play Queen Makita as part of Your Queens, and I also serve as the Marketing Partnerships Director for the organization. And I feel like that is all to know about me for now. Rashina, which is this way on my screen.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rashina. I play Queen Amina for Your Queens Incorporated. I also serve on the board in many ways, and I'm happy to be here with you all tonight.
Thank you. So good to have you. My apologies. I didn't get to. Angie came when I got really excited. We jumped right into her question. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, Queen. Go right ahead.
Hi, beautiful people. My name is Angie, aka Anjanae, and I serve as the social media manager for Your Queens. I play Queen Cleopatra, and I call myself now a mamapreneur because I'm a mama and now an entrepreneur at the same time. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Queens. So for those of you who are tuning in, again, we are Your Queens. We teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. This is season 2 of our Behind the Crown talk series. We had 10 episodes last year. We're coming in. We got 7 episodes for you. We're going to be here every other Wednesday. We're doing 7 dynamic, because I love that number. It's a powerful, divine number. 7 dynamic episodes coming to you, talking about Black love. Today, we're talking about faith, talking about peace and inner healing. And today, we're talking Black History Month, leaving a legacy. I have a special guest, my beautiful soror and my big sis. Even though we're the same age, she's still my big sis. My big sis, Kalia Moss, on here. And we got to talk earlier about what does Black History Month mean to you, and she shared about the dash. Make sure you know what that dash in your life is, and being able to leave a legacy not only for yourself but the next generation to come. And then we also talk about how you are leaving a legacy. And something that I love that Angie shared was traditions. She shared a lot of greatness. Something that stuck to mind was like traditions, even like how you cook and passing that on to the next generation. But I want to jump on a similar question, and this is for Angie, Rashina, and Aisha. I want you guys to talk about the legacy of the queens you portray briefly, and then go right into how you are leaving a legacy. But before we do that, I'm going to have Kalia Moss talk about how you are leaving a legacy, and then you queens can talk about your queen and how you're personally leaving a legacy. So go ahead, Kalia.
All right. So my legacy is through my wellness company, Glow Girl Wellness. I'm a certified holistic health coach. And when I first got into healthy eating, it was just helping people to lose weight. But I still wasn't fulfilled, because there's so much more to being healthy than eating a salad, right? It's the whole being, it's the whole person, and dealing with someone holistically. And I took a step back, and I was like, God, I need you to speak to me. I love working with people. I really want to make an impact in people's lives, but this is not it. And so I got baptized. I gave my life back to God back in 2019. I was baptized. And after a month of going to my church, shout out to my church, FCBC in Harlem. And I'll never forget, Eki, I was with your line sister, my spesh, Tahira. And I was getting ready yes, I was getting ready to bear witness to another friend getting baptized. And Tahira, she was like, "You glowing." I was like, "I am?" I was like, "Well, I know I'm not with child. So, I mean, but thank you." And I had on all white. I was going to baptism. So I had all white. And I was like, that's it. Glow. I was like, Glow Girl Wellness. I don't want to just help people eat healthy. I want to help women glow from the inside out. I want to inspire them. I want to empower them. I want to, teach them how to not just eat healthy, but to live in fulfillment. And so that is my legacy. Glow Grow Wellness is to educate and inspire and empower women to live their best authentic self. And I launched with Eki. I love you, my sister, for being there for my launch on Monday. And it might not be something, my son might not want to pick up Glow Grow Wellness and and do it on his own. Hopefully God will bless me with a daughter. But that is the legacy that I am working on leaving behind, is, educating and inspiring and empowering women to love the skin that they're in, and to live a life of fulfillment. Yeah, that's it.
I love that. Glow Girl Wellness. Definitely check her out on Instagram. It's at Glow Girl Wellness, I believe, right? I got it. Go. Yeah, we have. Thank you again.
Glow with a GLO, not a
GLO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If anybody's on, write it in the comments. Glow Girl Wellness. GLO Girl Wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for having me for your first launch episode. We had a good time. We did some meditation and affirmation. It was a whole vibe.
It was
I
a vibe.
enjoyed it.
It was a vibe because I watched it. I watched the replay and it was a vibe. I was like, oh, this is the vibe. I said, this is the vibe. I mean, I caught it at the wee hour of bottle feeding. I'm bottle feeding and watching, but I definitely caught it and I was like, this was a lot. This was what I needed. This affirmation, and Eki's affirmations be getting me pumped. I was like, yes. I was like, I could get up. I was like, but it's 3:30. I need to go back to bed.
Oh, bless you, Queen. I appreciate
you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'll just shout out Deborah Jones. Hello, my queens. Hello, Miss Deborah. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you tuning in. We are Your Queens. We teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. Check out yourqueens.com. This is our season 2 of Behind the Crown Talk series. Tolu Teru. Hi, Queen Amina. Why I had to sing it like that. Virginia Slim. Thank you for being here again. We appreciate you, Virginia Slim, for coming back. Peace to the beautiful sisters on the panel. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We appreciate you. So I'm going to have our queen, Aisha, jump in and we'll share, let the audience know about your queen, how she left a legacy, and how are you leaving a legacy?
Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Aisha again. I play Queen Makeda, who is from Ethiopia. And my queen is known to actually have like multiple stories that are told about her, which I think is a beautiful thing. I'm really drawn to characters in history who just have like multiple accounts. So her story is, in the Bible. She's mentioned in Songs of Solomon. She's also referenced in I believe it's the Talmud, which is a Jewish text. And she's also referenced in the Quran. They don't say her name, but everyone knows her to be Queen Makeda, like the story that we all know from like all these different places. So I think one thing that my queen is known about is her journey to hear the wisdom of King Solomon. And that journey was a long and arduous journey. And she led her, she had like a whole caravan. She was just like, I heard, King Solomon, I heard that he's somebody. I'm trying to learn about this wisdom. Let me collect my people. She brought gifts in exchange. And so when she met, they had a little love story. And she came back, with a child. And then from there, that's kind of like the central story. But when you hear like the different texts, they have different stories of what happened. So some say that she, went back to Ethiopia because she could not convert to Judaism. There's like all these different accounts. But the biggest thing about my queen is for her wisdom and her gifts. Like those are like the kind of the key things that she's known for. When she came to King Solomon, but she also came with like trying to like battle with the wits. She was not about just like someone said you're smart and I'm just going to receive that. She was like, let me go toe to toe with you. Like, what's really good? So that's one thing that I think I really love to hear, like learning about my queen. That's one thing that I'm really drawn to her story about that. So as that relates to like my personal journey, I really love what you said. I heard that you said about the hyphenated part, you know, Kalia. And for me, I think about my legacy as being a multi-hyphenated individual. I call myself a Renaissance woman. I live that. I have so much interest and so much excitement for various different facets of my life. And for me, my legacy is about honoring those different parts of myself and not saying, well, you know, you can't do that or that or that. It's just like, who do you want to be today? That's who we gonna be right now. And just to like, so a big motivation for that is, you know, being previously a person who was, you know, battling my own some of like inner demons, feeling, you know, trying to find acceptance of myself in community, like these things. And for me, I felt really like an outsider. And I think I honed into that and be like, you know what, I'm an outsider. That's cool. Like, I'm going to live in that. I'm going to honor that spirit of myself. And so when I think about my legacy, it's like that person that was, you know, insecure or whatever, like me, I think about me often when I'm 16, I'm like, am I the girl that I wanted? Like, am I the girl that I would have looked up to when I was 16? And that's kind of how I think about my legacy. I, you know, try to get back to my community when I can. I could plug a quick plug and then I'll stop. I run a Freedom Boutique where we give out supplies, clothing, etc. To people primarily in Brooklyn, and we're going to have one at the end of the month for Black History Month. So that's something that I try to do is like, what can I do from the things that I'm interested in to give back? And sorry, not even give back, because I honestly think about it as like my duty as a citizen of this world, my duty as a fellow Black person is to continue to uplift and empower my fellow people. So just to summarize, like my legacy is about art. It's about community, being community oriented, and essentially being proud of myself, being proud of who I'm continuing to be, and like living in that evolution and being comfortable with that.
I love that. I love hearing you speak, because you speak with so much, like there's this passion and seriousness about you. Like you take your life serious, your journey serious, being this multi-Renaissance woman. And thank you for definitely check out the Freedom Boutique. Definitely hit up Aisha. Can you let them know what your Instagram is? Is that okay?
Yeah, my personal Instagram is at Aisha So Fly, and it's so with 3 O's, fly. And actually, you can find the information about the Freedom Boutique is at Freedom Boutique NYC on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Thank you. So if you guys are tuning in, we are talking about how are you leaving a legacy? And Aisha just dropped some gems about leaving a legacy through art, a community. I even also love how you always go back to that young 16-year-old and looking like that's so important to do that. Is really and the other day I was meditating. Like sometimes, every time I meditate, I find different ways to do it. Like sometimes I think I was really going within before, but I'm really going within again. You see what I mean? I'm like, whoa, I thought I was doing that, but now I'm like, oh, okay, this is a whole nother, and when you meditate and do the thing, it's such a whole nother elevation. So thank you for sharing. Hi, Queen Mother. We can add to our dash every day. That is my warrior, my queen, my mommy, Queen Mother. We love you. Thank you for being here. You're the bomb. My heart, my everything. How are you leaving a legacy? So I'm gonna have Queen Rashina jump on this question. Talk about your queen that you play and how you are leaving a legacy. I can't wait to hear this.
Hi everyone again. I'm Rashina and I play Queen Amina of Zaria from Central Nigeria. And she's best known for being the warrior queen. She was the first queen of her people after her brother's reign, and she reigned for 34 years. The biggest thing, like I said, about her is being a true warrior inside and out and fighting for her people. She was able to expand the territory of the Hausa people in North Africa to the largest borders in history, even making her territory the center of trade. And many people think of a warrior queen as, you know, violence and negativity and conquering and so forth. But Queen Amina was not that. She used her military expertise and her knowledge of government to not only govern her people in a safe way, but to educate them on how to build unity among themselves and on a micro level. Hence the fact that she was able to expand the borders to the largest in history. So she took what she learned from her brother's reign and from learning from him and passed it on to all of her warrior queens and all of her warrior kings and so on and so forth. She's also known for the cultivation of the kola nut, which we know has tons of uses still to this day. And me personally, the way I feel I'm leaving my legacy, I think Eki actually gave me this. She coined this term for me maybe 2 weeks ago. She called me a master educator. And I was like, oh, I like the way that sounds. Yes, I am an educator. I teach early childhood education anywhere from birth to 7th grade, but I do so many other things that are educating. I work with a foster care company and I'm educating children from birth to the age of 26. And education doesn't mean pencil and paper, reading a book, arithmetic. It's self-esteem. I sit with my girls and I speak about self-esteem. I sit with my young men and I speak about just being proud of who they are and also expressing themselves emotionally. A lot of, obviously, they're in foster care, so a lot of them don't have this parental help. I try to step in and be, you know, somewhat of a parent or a big sister, auntie, what have you, to these individuals. And like Queen Amina, I always believe whatever I learn about myself, I need to pass it on. The best way to stay educated, the best way to stay intelligent is to pass that knowledge on. As I'm teaching, I'm also learning. You say things out loud, you hear them differently, and you're like, oh, you know what? I should phrase it this way so that they understand it. I used to explain it like this, but now I'm going to explain it like this. So you learn, you adapt, you evolve. You evolve as much as you teach, as much as you learn. It's full circle. I also feel I'm leaving my legacy in like the fashion world. I've been modeling since I was a child. Like literally, it's my dog, sorry. I've been modeling since I was a child, like I think I was maybe 3. And yeah, I think I was 3. And I was living in Italy. Dad was in the military, so we were living in Italy. So obviously we were the token, my brothers and I were the token Black people. And it was fun as a child, but as I look back and I start to realize that we were kind of like their avenue to try things. We're kind of like guinea pigs. So if they thought of something different, it'll be like, okay, put it on the Black kids and let's see how the world takes it. It was fun as a child, but now looking back, it's like, you see how they use our creativity, our uniqueness, our beauty to satisfy their goals. And we don't necessarily reap the benefits of that. So now, yeah. I had these revelations and I'm like, okay, oh, and here's my dog. She thinks I'm calling her. This is a fashion snap. But so now as an adult, I've been modeling, continue to model into my adulthood. I realized I can flip that. So I'm not going to be your guinea pig. You're going to come to me with an option or something new. I have the right to say no. And I also have the right to have ownership over that. And it's been, I can say it has been hard to stay on that path because they can easily just say, okay, we won't use you. We'll just find someone else. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with, sticking to my principles, and I'm okay with saying, all right, it's your loss, not mine. And especially now within the social media world, those same people who used to be like, all right, fine, you doing too much, I don't care, are still DMing me, asking me, oh, do you want to? No, can't, sorry, can't help you because you had your chance. And, so just putting that out there to young women and young girls, even young males that want to get into the fashion world, just know you aren't anyone's experiment. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to speak your mind, and it's okay to have ownership over yourself, your body, and whatever they're trying to do to you. I used to be the main model. The first thing I would come in, I would say, look, I'm dark skinned. Y'all gonna try to put purple eyeshadow on me. I don't want it. That's all they knew back in the days. If you were Black and you were dark skinned, they put a purple eyeshadow on you. They're gonna fry your hair and put it into a ponytail. No, I'm gonna just, let me get some water, some gel. And do you have a Black makeup artist? No, then give me some Vaseline and some lip liner, because you're not doing this to me. You're not. So it's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay. You're gonna have bumps in the road. You're gonna have little obstacles, but just know that the biggest story, and the bigger picture is so much greater than what we are going through personally as an individual. So I feel like that's one of my biggest legacy as far as being a master educator and a woman in fashion.
Wow, I have to clap on that one. Yes. Yes.
And I'm a dog mom.
Rashina,
I love my dog.
I love your dog too. That's homie right there. She's always there for every show that we have, just repping and enjoying.
Sure
We've been
is.
going virtual. But no, Rashina, you're such a powerful woman inside and
Thank
out.
you.
The way you stand tall, your energy, your spirit, you inspire me to stand taller. So thank you for sharing that. And you're so connected with your queen, Amina. Like it makes sense. Look, mommy said great. I saw another comment coming in. I think it was Zai News chiming in on the queens. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. We are your queens. We teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. This is season 2 of Behind the Crown Talk series. We're going to be here for 7 episodes every other Wednesday. Next one, it will be Wednesday the 17th, right here at 6 p.m. Today, we're talking Black History Month. I have my queens on here. Queen Aisha, Queen Rashina. Queen Aisha plays Makita, Queen Asheba. Queen Rashina, Queen Rashina plays Queen Amina. Queen Angie plays Queen Nzinga and Queen Cleopatra. And then my amazing soror special guest Kalia Moss, and we're talking Black history, leaving a legacy. I want to jump to Angie, but really quickly, as she was talking about modeling, Kalia, can you share? Do you have a story? I saw you also about your experience. Yeah, you already know.
Girl, yeah. Rashina, I was like, as you were talking, because I'm lighter, they would want to put blonde wigs on me, and like I'm like, wait, lighten my skin. I'm like, how much more light do you want me to be? And I remember, I don't know if I can say the brands, but I was modeling for major brands. I was the e-commerce model when e-commerce modeling wasn't a thing, when it was like a new thing. And I was like, wait, I'm modeling for these urban brands. And these are not this is not the market that you are marketing to. I'm a Black woman and you are marketing to Black women. And it was very difficult being, and plus size. I'm a plus size model. So being plus size, they're kind of like, be happy with what you got. Like you're modeling, you have this opportunity. And so be grateful. And I will never forget, me and my son's father, we would, go back and forth, because he was like, you don't have to do this. But part of me was like, it's my dream. Like I'm trying to make it big, but what you said was like, I'm no one's experiment. I saw Michelle, she had put that comment there, and that sits so deep in my spirit, because I felt like that. I felt like I was their experiment. Like, okay, we're going to lighten her skin once, Photoshop is done, and I will never forget, I walked in on set, and I think I was pregnant. I modeled until I was like 5 months pregnant with Zaire. And I was like, whose wig is that? Because I would come with my makeup. I would come with my wigs. I came ready for everything. And I'm like, well, who's wearing that wig? And they were like, oh, Kalia, we want to do something different. I was like, oh, no. I am not putting on that blonde wig. And I felt so proud of myself, because I think I was pregnant with Zaire. So I was 28 at the time. And because you never know when you go on set what they're going to put you in. And I felt so proud of myself that I was like, no, I have all of my wigs here. I'm not wearing the blonde wig. And in my mind, I didn't say this to them, and I probably would have said this now at this age. I'm like, you already lightening my skin. What else do you want from me? You're already photoshopping me and making me look lighter than what I already am. So I'm so grateful, Rashina, that you shared that aspect, because I remember being wanting to be a model so bad, and being told that I couldn't because of my size, and that I finally was able to, and booking national campaigns you know, being able to be in essence and glamour and having all of these opportunities. But it came with a cost and it came with a price. And that is, I shared this, I think you were probably backstage listening, but I remember, like, I can't do this anymore. Not like this. It didn't serve me anymore. It didn't give me fulfillment or purpose anymore, especially being a Black woman. And someone else said, Aisha, right? I hope I said your name right. You were saying being that you want to be that 16-year-old girl, like you want to not resemble, but you want to be the example of that 16-year-old girl that you were. And I think back to when I was that little girl, that chubby little girl that said, you know, and everyone said, oh, you're cute, but you're too big. You're pretty, but you can't be a model. And I remember as I got older, like, I just want to be the example. I want, when I'm wherever I am, like, she may be a big girl, but she's beautiful. She may be a big girl, but oh my God, she's intelligent. And yeah, so that's my perspective on being in the industry and being a model, and, you know, wanting to have that experience, but not at the price of your soul. You know, like, why do I have to sell my soul, you know, in order for you to accept me? You know, why do I have to be something that I'm not, you know, for you to sell me and to sell me to my own people? You're selling me to my people, and you're basically telling them that who they are is not beautiful. You know, taking that wig off. I'll never forget when I went natural, you know, and being free. You know, I put my wigs on now, you know, my protective styles and stuff like that, but it wasn't okay being a model with your natural hair. It wasn't okay, you know, to have to rock your afro on a runway. Not when I started modeling. And so to see now so many natural women and natural models, it's like so refreshing. It's like, it's about time. Like, God, you know? But yeah, so that's my take.
No, I wanted you to share that 100%. Thank you. But look, of course, look at the magic that happens when you become your authentic self and truly go within. As we think like, oh, we're like Rashina said, we're nobody's experiment. And when we stand up tall and the doors open, I want to read some comments, and then Angie, I'm gonna have you jump on. Want your skin darker, your lips thicker, your hair naturally woolly. That's like a poem. Yes, Linda, that sounded like a poem. Hi, Auntie Linda. I saw some other comments. We see you guys. We thank you for commenting. We thank you for enjoying. Miss Ravioli. Hey, hello, everyone. Good to have you. Hope you are doing well, Miss Ravioli, and your New Year's going well as well. Good to have you back. Yeah, that's powerful. I remember, love yourself, accept your own. Yeah. I remember being younger and always knew that dance was going to be part of my life. But I also thought it wasn't a major thought. Y'all know I'm very stubborn for the Lord. I don't move until he said so. And it's like, I have to feel it and vibe it all that time. And I'm thank you for my family for knowing me, accepting me, being patient with me, and trusting that about myself. I remember thinking like, oh, because I dance, I'm going to travel the world, which I did get to do under Ecky's Famous and Your Queens, travel the world with some dance company and do all this stuff. But God was like, no, I want you to create your own. I was like, oh. And it brings us here to this moment. So Queen Angie, let us know, the audience, about your queen that you portray, and how are you leaving a legacy?
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Angie. Cleopatra is best known for is fine arts and her powerful, smart, and her ability to become one of the youngest rulers for the kingdom in Egypt during her reign. There are many different texts that talk about Cleopatra, but I think the most powerful thing that stands out to me is that how she was very strong-minded, and she basically was an individual who didn't really take anything from men in a time where Egypt was very much so dominated by male figures. And she stood up and made sure that her voice was heard. She made sure that she was very much so in the aspects and was able to achieve and get anything that her male counterparts could get, especially the fact that she was trained in science, literature, and philosophy. At that time, women were not really allowed to be educated. So she made sure that she was able to get educated just like her male counterparts are, so that she had the tools necessary to become a very successful ruler in a time where Egypt needed to see somebody at that level come to play, because there was just a lot of things going on in terms of wars and so on and so forth. So I think that was the most thing that stood out with the queen that I play. To answer your question about how I'm leaving a legacy, I've been thinking about this question since everyone started speaking about it. And I think what really came to my mind in terms about me leaving a legacy is being unapologetically me. I say that because I was a kid who grew up very, very much insecure about who I was. As you guys were talking about body image, I was very, very insecure about how I look. People tease me because I have big lips, and I didn't understand why I had big lips. I didn't understand why
You
my
are
facial
beautiful.
structure or my smile or my smile was so big, and I got teased a lot about that. And I even got called names that we can't say on air, but definitely things that are derogatory that made me really feel more insecure about myself. And I really started to believe those things. And then turning now into 2021, women kill for lips like this. Like, they kill for smiles like this. Like, they go and put lip fillers in their mouth and they love this. So who am I to be upset at the fact that I was given natural beauty by God? It's something that it makes me now smile. It makes me look at people like, you really thought that my lips was big? You bugging, because I'm beautiful inside and out. So I think that's something that's the legacy that I'm leaving. And then I think the second legacy I'm leaving is also being vulnerable. I know people may not say this, but I not that I idolize this person, but after watching her story this weekend, Wendy Williams, I know she's not the best person to idolize, but after watching her story and seeing how unapologetic and authentic that woman was in terms of being vulnerable and letting her shine within, allowed me to really see that being vulnerable in this state is leaving a legacy for other people, because you have history to rewind back to give people lessons and learn from those lessons. So for instance, growing up, as I said, I was insecure, and I was insecure because of what people said. The lesson that I can give to the next little girl who feels that she's insecure is not to listen to what other people have to say. As long as you find yourself beautiful, you hold your head up high, you put your crown on, and you walk down the runway, street, anywhere else, like there's nothing. It's so funny that we're talking about walking, because that's this Saucy Santana new walk challenge. Oh, it has me out there. Like, I'm just like, yes, honey. Like, you cannot knock it, because of the fact the confidence level is up there now. But I think that's something that I'm going to leave as a legacy in terms of being unapologetically me and vulnerable. If you can't love me for my flaws and love who I am for my flaws, then I guess you don't know how to love anybody, because we all come in different shapes and sizes. We come in different areas and expertise. And the fact of the matter is that you need to be able to learn from those flaws and be able to move forward and give that guidance to the next generation that comes up. So I think those are my two things.
Those were two great and phenomenal things. I'll say publicly, I love you, Angie, inside and out. You inspire me. You already know the vibes. John Logic said, the girls that got teased as you'd always end up super pretty. It's the energy, is the glow. And like, as you're talking, so many things. Also said, now that they pay for your beautiful features, Angie. You see that? Hello. Let me see if any other comment comes in. Peace to the queens as well. We appreciate you, 58 Jones. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I love your connection with Cleopatra. And again, it ties, everyone's queen that portray ties really very well in who you are as a woman. And like hearing about Cleopatra's creativity and how she stood tall, as I'm listening to you, and she just voiced who she is. She was strong-minded, unapologetic. That is you. And hearing you speak, it also like your queen, starting your queen 6 years ago, and the woman that I am now, like I say this very humbly and beautiful. I don't care what people say or think about me. I'm going to stand tall and be who I am, no matter what, because I know that we're inspiring some 1, 2, or 10,000. Whether I'm an audience of 1 or thousands, I'm going to remain consistent. And if you don't like it, that is fine. I'm going to shine no matter what. And I learned that from my ancestors, my parents, my queen on this life. Because you're gonna have people are gonna be jealous of you. People will talk about you. People will be envious of you. But it's okay. It's part of the journey. It's part of the story. But trust. Life is full circle. But guess what? They will be inspired by you. Thank you, Queen. You're dynamic. Thank you. I want to jump into our final. you see the dog. Oh, she's chilling. Like I'm right here. He's getting the vibes as well. I love you, queens, and our audience. Thank you all for tuning in on season 2 of Behind the Talks. I love it. I really love it. I'm here for it all. I want to jump into our final question for tonight, and then we'll be back, y'all. Set your alarms, put it on calendar next Wednesday. Not next Wednesday. I keep saying next Wednesday. Come on. Maybe we need to do. The dog is my production assistant. Shout out Logic. I ran to you. Look, all the love. Oh my gosh, she wants some love. We'll be back on Wednesday.
I just had to let her up here because she was going to bark the whole time. So I was like, just come.
I love
just
it.
come.
Just go. The 17th, we'll be back on the 17th. Again, thank you, Kalia, for being here. Aisha, Angie, Rashina, I appreciate your time and positive energy. Final question for tonight, and then we'll close out with one word affirmation. Who in Black History Month, or who inspires you? Who do you see as when you think of Black History? I wouldn't say month because, again, Black History is all the time, 24/7. Inspires you and why? It can be someone well known or someone in your family. I see you thinking, Aisha, yeah, it could be 2 or 3 people. I want to know who, and I'm going to have Kalia Moss, if you would like to jump on that question first. Who inspires you and why?
I have to say it's my grandma. Like I said earlier, her name is Queen. And she celebrated her 87th birthday yesterday. When I think of my grandmother, she raised me. She taught me the power of prayer. She taught me to put God first in everything that I do. I watched her when I was little work 3 jobs. I remember she would work. She was an X-ray technician, and she would work down the block at the hospital. She worked the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. And she would come home, she would take care of me, get me off to school, then come back and get me. Food and dinner was ready by 3 o'clock, and do it all again. And then on Fridays, she would not come home from that job from 11 to 7 and go work at another hospital, and then come home and get ready for church on Sunday. You know, she didn't just talk the talk, she walked the walk. I put that in my tribute to her yesterday. She is a go-getter. She continues, even in her 87 years of being stubborn, because, you know, when they get older, they get stubborn. She just taught me what it meant to be a woman. She taught me how to love. I watched her care for her husband until he passed. If it had not been for her, I don't know where I would be. I don't know what my life would have looked like had she not stepped in to raise me and to take care of me. So she is my inspiration every day. She is Black history for me. And she pushes and will continue to push me to be the best woman that I am, and mother. You know, I was sharing her, we had a Zoom surprise party for her, and our family members were on there, and they would from down south, from everywhere, and they just poured into her, and they just shared how much she gave to everyone. So she didn't just impact me. She's impacted us all in our family. And like I said, she is our matriarch. So it's my queen, my real queen. And I crowned her yesterday. It was a beautiful ceremony that I did. I bought a crown, and I crowned her yesterday and put her in her throne, and just loved on her and thanked her for every sacrifice she made for not just me, but for our entire family. So it's my Grammy.
I love that. What an honor. What an honor. And how perfect timing. I just wrote that down. How perfect timing is it that you just celebrated her birthday just yesterday,
Yeah.
and we get to share about how she inspires you. We can't. I feel like everything is just so divine. So thank you. Shout out to Queen. We appreciate. I love seeing her. Every time I see her, she gives me that glow. We give that hug. So I can't wait to see her and hug her. She's been to a lot of Your Queens presentations as well. Sitting in the audience, we've adorned her with a wrap. Yeah, Michelle is giving some purple hearts. Yes. Logic said she sounds like a true hero. 3 jobs.
Thank you.
Wow.
She was making 6 figures back in the 70s. She always talks about, I was bringing home 4 checks at a time. I was like, all right, Grandma, you was doing the thing back then. But
so
she always
inspiring.
How she was able to provide for her family, which is motivation, to keep going and to keep striving, to be able to leave a legacy.
To leave a legacy. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome, my sister.
Yes. Queen Rashina, who inspires you and why?
I have, I thought about the question, and I got 3 people, family, history, and then a current person. I'll start with my family. I come from a family of really strong individuals, but I'll start with my mom. She definitely inspires me. She's always been a hard worker, which is pretty common when you're a black individual with a family in America. We always have to work hard. We didn't have it easy. But the one thing that stood out about her is I always felt like she always found a way to enjoy what she does. So she was an educator, and she worked for the DOE for years, but she also would work at after school programs, or she would work for foster care companies. Actually, the one I'm working for now, I got that idea from her. Or she would have hair braiding on the side, sewing on the side. She always found used her talents to enjoy providing for her family. So she definitely is one of my biggest inspirations, to always remind myself that don't look at it as a struggle. Just look at it honestly like a game. When you play video games, you come across levels that are hard, that are difficult, but you actually enjoy it. It's fun. So maybe oh, I didn't beat this boss this time. Oh man, you're not going to give up. You're going to do second life and play again. So that's something that I do with everything. I have so many jobs, including Your Queens, and people always looking at me like, how do you find the time to do any of the above? Especially when I'm making home visits to some of my participants. It's because I enjoy it. So I don't feel beat. I don't feel, oh man, I got to go to this house at 4:00. It's 3:30. Oh my God. I don't feel it, because I purposely chose jobs that I enjoy. And I get that from my mom. So just seeing her enjoy life and also work hard to provide. She was married. I have a dad. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, she was struggling by herself. No, I have a dad. He was great. But just watching her go that extra step so we can enjoy life outside of just the basics. Okay, we both have jobs, but we need a little bit more so that our kids could go on a trip. I went away to summer camp and slept over sleepaway camps every summer because of things like that. Or, for example, she would get a job at community centers where we grew up in Far Rockaway, so that we were allowed to go on the trips. So she's chaperoning a trip to Splish Splash. Have the shadow Splish Splash because I love going there. She would chaperone a trip, and I'm gonna bring my kids along with me. Now we have a trip to Splish Splash. So just being able to explore life through my mom was amazing. So that's my family. Then a current person, and I'm choosing all women because I love women. Angela Bassett, she's just such an amazing actress. She could literally portray just anyone at any time. From just obviously her Tina Turner role, it was amazing. It's just seeing her, seeing her now in her older age, and I don't really like to say that because it gives a negative connotation, but seeing her now still enjoy life, still killing it as an actress, still banging out these roles, still being a sought out actress, and maintaining her pride, her Black pride, maintaining her body, her image. She is just something I look forward to in my profession. I'm not an actress, but just with everything I do, I want to be like that. I don't want to be in my 50s and my 60s and it's like, oh, when she was 30 she did that and now look at her now. She has managed to always be a sought after talent and look good while doing it, because she is flawless. So I really feel like she is making Black history. She's Black history in the making. And for my history person that's no longer here, I'd say Ida B. Wells. Not only because she was an educator, I'm prone to educators, but also because she broke gender roles by being a leader and just speaking out when women were not allowed to do such things. For example, she wrote about and publicized about lynchings. Obviously, we know lynchings are barbaric, but back then she was in the South and she wrote about it. She published it in articles and she continued the anti-lynching campaign to put that information out there. And it's like, first of all, you're Black, no one's going to listen to you. Second of all, you're a woman, double not listening to you. But she didn't stop. She continued, whether people supported her or not, she continued to put her information out there and try to help and fight against violence against women, violence against Black people, and injustice, and continue to fight for equality amongst our people. Many times they tried to silence her, and like I said, she broke that gender role by saying, I am a woman and I will be the leader of this campaign. I am a woman, you will hear my voice. Yes, I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, and I'm still going to get this equality. So I think those are my three inspirations for Black History Month.
Nice. Yeah. I love it. Sidebar, your mom, I love your mom. She is so awesome. You could feel her presence even before she walks into the room. And then shout out to your mom, because she literally on Facebook shares everything that I do. Every single thing she shares, like daily. I'm not exaggerating. So yeah. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, Rashina. Queen Angie. Who inspires you and why?
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna follow up after Rashina. That was a good list there. First and foremost, I want to say all Black women inspire me. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. All Black women inspire me, from my queens to people I don't know to women I don't know. I'm just inspired by all Black women. But if I had to pick three, my first one would be my grandmother. I think that she's an inspiration because she always tries to be as positive as can be. Even when I feel stormy and the storm is coming down on me, she still tries to spread light. She provides for me and all of my family members. She'll give you her last, even though I don't know what it is with my grandmother. If you ask her for something and you'd be like, she's like, oh, I don't have no money. And then like she'd be like, oh, here's what you asked me for. And I'm like, but how did you get that? Like, but where? She was like, I played the lottery and I won. I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, like, she played the numbers, she won. She's always the type of person to always be giving. She's a very giving individual. And I think that's something that I really, really love about her. My second person that I'll have to talk about is Michelle Obama. She really inspires me because of her vulnerability. I don't know if anybody on the panel got to read her book, Becoming, but she really opened up about her life, about being a mom and giving up her career to be able to provide for her children and being able to provide for her husband so he can fulfill his dream. And I very much so resonate to that because of the fact that I'm a mom now and I see that like children are your world and your life stops for a certain point of time because that's your main focus. And your focus is to make sure that they're educated and they have the tools that they need to be able to move forward in life so that they can now pass on your traditions, your legacy, and everything else to their offspring. So the fact that you need to take that time as a mom and develop those habits that are crucial in their development is something that she spoke about in her book. Another thing that she spoke about in her book is about being vulnerable in your relationship when it comes to your spouse. You know, she spoke about how, you know, she had to really take a look inside of herself to see if she was a problem in her relationship, to be able to move forward with Obama and be able to allow him to be the man he needed to be, because they both were lawyers, both went to Harvard, they both went to Princeton, but she was at that time much more successful than he was. But what she didn't have to do is she saw the potential in who he could be. So what she did was she took a step back from being the shining star in their relationship to now give him the tools that he needed to become that shining star. And he took that and became the president of the United States. And she became the first lady. And you can't knock her for doing that because she saw the potential in the person that she was with. So I really relate to that situation. And then I think the third person that I really, really, really aspire is Oprah. I think Oprah's story and how she grew up is very much inspiring to an individual like me who really was on the outs in terms of like trying to find themselves and not being so sure about themselves, and then coming into confident as a woman as an older woman, she came into her confidence and understood that she was born to do what she did, and she began to start loving herself for who she was. So I think those are the three people that inspire me.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't finished the book, but I also read it. I know she's still on the comments. Definitely one of her favorite books as well. And I just love how you mentioned about her going within herself and seeing that she's the right woman, a partner for Barack. Like, how deep is that? And sometimes we want the other person to change, work, but you have to go within yourself. And she did that work for herself, and boom, look what's happened. Like, we saw her in the inauguration. We all fell out. Okay, Mimi's we fell out. Like, Lord, she just so late. Thank you, Queen.
And she also and one thing she also talked about that really got me. One thing else she talked about this. She talked about the fact that once she stepped back and allowed Barack to shine, the love for their relationship very much torpedoed, because he now felt in love with her because she knew what her role was. And I hate to say that, a role, because we don't really have roles, but
no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Was.
It's like magic, and the whole world feel their love. The whole world. I wanted to say real quick, shout out to grandmas. I love how you all sharing, and thank you for their life and their journey. We need our grandma. Both of my grandmas are deceased, but guess what? I always feel, I talk to my grandma every day and every morning when I pray, and I'm having our grandmas around us because they're just like queens. They're so magical, and you're like, how did you work 3 jobs? How did you do all of it? My grandma, my mom's mom, she had 18 kids. That was her legacy. Same husband and grandpa. Yes, she did. 18 kids. Think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't keep count. 18. That was her legacy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine 18 kids coming out of this? Sorry, mommy, TMI. But like, whoa.
I can't even imagine another one. I can't even imagine another one.
That was her legacy. Yeah, 18. She birthed 18 kids, honey.
Was it all natural?
I think back then, because she was born like 1918 or something.
Yeah, it had to be natural back then. Woo!
But shout out to grandma, because I know she, in a vision, in a dream, she named my company, Eki Was Famous, and I shortened it to Eki's Famous. That's the reason why I have the company called Eki's Famous, and Eki means joy. She gave that to me in a vision, in a dream. So shout out to grandmas. I'm going to have Queen Aisha jump on this final question. Who inspires you? I'm sorry, Aisha, real quick, before I forget. I'm not going to break it down on who inspires me real quick, but I have a list. I have Osa, Daddy, Mommy, my aunties, Maya Angelou, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Oprah, Judith Jameson, Alvin Ailey. Okay, go.
So I just wanted to share real quick. When you all were talking, I was just like, yes, yes, yes. I wanted to share my favorite Michelle Obama story. So apparently there's this, I think Obama was talking, I forgot who said the story, but apparently Michelle and Obama, they went to a restaurant, and the restaurant I think was her Michelle's ex or whatever. And so she was basically, Obama was like, oh, well, if you stayed with him, you would have been like a very nice restaurateur's wife. And she was like, he would have been the president of the United States. And I think that's like the most like beautiful story I've ever heard about them as a couple, because it really shows like Michelle does not play. She knew what she wanted, and she is like the queen of elevating. Like she elevates herself, she elevates those around her. And that's something that I really do admire about her as well. She's not my person, but I just wanted to say that. Like I just love that story. So look it up. It's somewhere in the internet. So many people, and I'm even as I'm talking out loud, I'm struggling to like pinpoint some people and limit to 3. So I'm going to cheat. But I'll just say, I know for me, I'm drawn to badass women, just women who are just like, this is the status quo. I'm going to say, F your status quo. This is how I'm going to show up and be. And I think the thing that's beautiful is that they do it for themselves, but the impact is that they realize what they're doing for themselves is going to help so many other people. So I just want to shout out some queens who are doing that. Like, I know that like this is, I don't know why she's controversial, but Lizzo is an example of that for me. Lizzo is, like queen for a lot of plus people, but I think she's a role model and icon regardless of your size. She is, to me, queen of someone who is like, I gotta be me. And we don't realize, and I think people are like really drawn to like her controversial outfits or whatever, which is like only controversy because of her size, right? Like we know that she's doing her thing, she's gorgeous. But something that someone said, and I was just like, this is so true, is that she's wearing, her cute little booty shorts or whatever, just so a girl can feel comfortable just wearing shorts. Like, can you think about that? Like, she has to be the extreme for someone to feel normal in themselves. And I think that's something that's so beautiful, is that she's doing it for herself. She's doing it for the girl. She's doing it for people who can feel who want to be their authentic selves, but can't because of what society says they should be, what that box should be. So that's one queen that I want to shout out. She's just out there for me. And I love it. Like, I'm here for all of it. I really love her. I really love Issa Rae. Apparently, yesterday or today, I forgot when, was the 10-year anniversary of Awkward Black Girl. And folks don't know what Awkward Black Girl is. It was a web series that she created, 10 plus years ago. And it was very it was homemade. But it was so funny, so good. And that show snowballed into what we know is Insecure today. And I think that to see that was her 10-year journey, I'm so inspired by that, to be like, yo, like, whatever it is, whatever joy you have, don't feel like it has to be at this certain level to be great, to be put out in the world. You will always have room to grow. There's, don't feel, I know that's something that I personally struggle with, whereas I'm doing something, I want it to look like 100%, like it has to look in a certain way for it to be like out there. But I feel like that's really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's stopping me from letting it exist and to be in the world. It's a lot of fear. And so that's something that I'm like, wow, like she did that. And look where she is now. People love that story. She didn't have a whole lot of money, a whole lot of budget, a whole lot of, people behind her necessarily to do what she did. But HBO and a whole bunch of other people they saw what she had to offer. And they were like, we want to do something with this. And it took a couple of years to get the right person, to the right company to produce it and turn Insecure into what it is today. But I'm just like, wow, she really was just like, these are my friends, we're going to make a web series. So that's something I'm just still I read that today, that it was a 10-year, and I'm like, yes. So, and then 2 more and I'll shut up. Another person that I want to shout out is, I really admire Janelle Monáe. For a lot of things, stylistically, I want to be her. I want to look like everything. She's gorgeous. But something about her spirit that is gorgeous to me especially is that she's queen of putting her team on. She's just like, we in this together. We're a community. We're a tribe. I'm going to make it, but we all going to be out here. We're all going to get our bag, get our check. People are going to know who we are. And I just like, that's something that I definitely aspire to be too, is continuing to like, you know, as we grow in my collective, you know, like sharing with each other, putting each other on, like all of that. I really support and respect that. And then finally, somebody that I'm like, whoo, wow, is, I don't know if y'all ever watch interviews with Nina Simone from back in the day. She did not play. And I just support that energy 100%. Nina Simone was doing things that a lot of people today would be like clutch pearls, because she was not playing with her money. She was not playing with her vision as an artist. And I just support that wholeheartedly. That is who I aspire to be, someone who's just like, this is me. You're going to take it or not. Like, and I'm out the door. You're going to respect me. And I think especially like growing up at that time, like doing what she was doing at the time, she was a dark-skinned woman, like unambiguously Black woman doing her thing, sharing her beautiful voice. I just think that that's so admirable. And I think especially during that time and time now, right? I think it becomes so easy to compromise yourself in order to achieve some level of fame and success. And I feel like it's precisely that, her sticking to her guns, her being her authentic self, is why a lot of people still resonate with her. And that's something that I hope that we get another biopic that's actually accurate and not by somebody doing the most. I was very disappointed at what was created. But yeah, that's somebody that I want to know so much more about. Like, we have so many bits and pieces, and I'm already like, oh, she's delicious. Like, her life was delicious. I want to know so much more. So those are some people was that 3? That might have been something.
Oh, good. We were here for all of it. Every time you said a woman's name, oh Lord! And shout out to our inspiring men as well. But y'all already know. We already know. We are history. Let me tell you. Do you know, like, Nina Simone?
Aisha.
Did we get a feedback, Angie?
Oh,
Aisha.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Now you're going in and out.
They have.
Oh, wait.
Did I go in and out?
Yes, you're going in and out. Maybe take off the headphones. That might help.
I think I'm better.
Not yet.
Am I better?
Okay, we hear you now. We hear you now. Go.
I was saying they have Andrea O'Day.
Andrea Nina Simone.
They are supposed to play Nina Simone. They have a biopic coming out of her.
I think she's playing Billie Holiday, actually.
The one that sings Rise. She's playing Nina Simone.
Oh, Andra Day.
Who?
I think it's Billie Holiday. I think it's Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
But still popping.
Still popping. I was gonna say real quick, Nina Simone. I listened.
My
I watched her documentary. It's all good. Nina Simone, really, that's my fun time. I watch documentaries of her for fun. And when I was in my 20s, I think also I thought I was Nina Simone. So her story, I would just listen and zone out and listen. And in my mind, she was one of the first rappers. Okay.
We forgetting about Grace Jones too, because you know that was a boss.
That was on my list.
We can go
Grace
on.
Jones.
Yeah, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Grace Jones.
You
You cannot tell me. I would do my ponytail real low so you couldn't see it, so I looked like I was shaved. Listen, you was not telling me nothing. You was not telling me with the Eco Green gel. Listen, I was Grace Jones.
I was Grace Jones for Halloween one year.
I remember being on Instagram like, chills.
I love us. I love us. Y'all, Queens, we are coming to the end of our first episode of season 2 Behind the Crown Talk series. Thank you again, Queens, for being here, for sharing with our beautiful audience. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to our special guest, my soror and big sis, Kalia Moss. This was really, really awesome, inspiring. I hope that everyone in the audience were inspired. Definitely share this out with your family and friends. Again, thank you to Angie. Thank you to Rashina. Thank you to Aisha. May you have a wonderful night. But before we go, yourqueens.com. Since we started last season, we didn't have a lot of followers. We're still growing our Instagram, but it had not our Instagram. Well, that too, our YouTube is doubled since we got it. We're still trying to get at 100 subscribers, but it's doubled since we started. So click the subscribe button if you are on our YouTube. Like us if you are on our Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, Your Queens.
It's Black History Month. Share it out. Share it out.
Share it out. Let's go. Share it out. Share it out. And if I'm missing anything, please feel free to jump in. Donate to Your Queens as well. Your Queens at yourqueens.com. And our Cash App is Your Queens Inc. We provide presentations to family, friends all over the world, birthday parties, weddings, Black History Month celebrations, Women's History Month celebrations. Michelle says, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I learned from every queen on this platform. Thank you, Michelle. Definitely come back Wednesday, February 17th at 6 p.m. for another dynamic conversation. The topic is Black love and self-love. We got a special guest coming on. I may have 2 special guests coming on that. Let me see, because that's going to be a hot topic. We talked about it last time and we weren't done, and this is why we have season 2. Before we close out, I will say one word, but if you have a phrase, and you know that we are all about being trailblazers and breaking the rules, so I'm going to break the rule on my one word. 2 words came to me, and I'll have Kalia jump on next. And my 2 words were, this was breathtaking. And the second one is Black is beautiful.
Oh, so they were doing an affirmation, right? Okay.
Yep.
So mine is, I am the embodiment of infinite possibilities.
Oh, I am the embodiment of infinite possibilities.
Embodiment of infinite possibilities. I love that.
Thank you.
Rashina, you want to go? Go ahead.
Yes. I am beauty, and beauty is within me.
I am beauty, and beauty is within me. For those who are audience, definitely repeat after the affirmation. I am beauty, and beauty is within me. Thank you. Aisha.
Mine is going to be, this is a quote. I forgot who said it. But I'm going to be myself because everyone else is taken.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be myself because everyone else is taken.
I felt that. Thank you. Hanjane.
Oh, I'm going to be unapologetically me because my Black is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be unapologetically me because my Black is beautiful.
We love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to our brother Logic on Iran Network. This was I think this is like a season 2 for you as well. So thank you for having us start this off on this first episode for your season 2 as well on the Ranters Union. We're always doing a lot of first. I love it. We give God all the glory and praise. Thank you, queens. Thank you, family. Thank you, friends. We are out. We'll see you soon. Peace and love.
That's a clean.
I said the difference between you and I is how palpate the BMI. Took the heart for problems before I get involved and try to solve my problems. I got time on my hands, but talking you off a ledge was never part of my plans. I listen to thought that I'm the old far away. Not my problem. Replace the thought with the fact that we're both okay. Consider this. Oh, those romantic telepathy, those synapses, those energies. And now the world is broken and now with silence unbroken. Always the same lane, same ocean, but not frank. Like Drake with all his woes. I said the difference between you and I is I'll palpate the BMI. Check the heart for problems before I get involved and try to solve my problems. Cause I got time on my hands, but talking you up the ledge was never part of my plan. I listen to thought that I'm the old far away. Not my problem. Replace the thought with the fact that we're both okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for a body with no baggage and savage. I'm talking about zipping out on the people that don't unpackage their grief. Your presence is their relief. What they need when they weak is some wisdom. Focus focus on fixing your mantra. What's repeated inside your skull will come back into haunt ya. Or it may come back, motivate and times ya. Reverberating in the conscious. It echoes. That's why I spit phronesis. The lyrical literature leaving my lips is a thesis. I'm making sure that if you listen and you learning too. Cause every lesson that I've learned is the goopy clue. Release this philosophy if using my discography means every penny earned and every penny that's got to me. Whether lump sum or residual from royalty is getting bequeathed to all members of my family. The difference between you and I is how palpate the BMI. I said the difference between you and I is how palpate the BMI. Release my hindsight. It's got astigmatism, but my foresight. It's 1080p, it's HD, it's the LED illuminated. I'm too backlit. Replace my hindsight. It's got astigmatism, but my foresight. It's 1080p, it's HD, it's the LED illuminated. I'm too backlit. The difference between you and I. The difference between you and I. That's a queen. Is I palpate the BMI.